Hello everyone, I am Himakshi Surti from Shri Vasisht Vidyalaya. I am here to present a social study video. Welcome to my social study class. Let's start with the chapter number 20, Our Government. India is a vast country with a huge population. India is a democratic country. It means a form of government that is of the people, by the people and for the people, called democracy. India has 28 states and 8 union territories. Let's study about the structure of government. The structure of government is further divided into 3 branches which are interrelated: legislative, executive and judiciary. Legislative, it is the law-making body of the government. Executive, it is responsible for the implementation and execution of the laws which are made by the legislature. And the judiciary, its main function is to ensure that all the government's work is done in accordance with the rule laid down in the constitution. Legislature consists of president. The Rajya Sabha means upper house and the Lok Sabha, which is called lower house. Rashtrapati Bhavan. Rashtrapati Bhavan is the place where the president lives. It is the official residence of the President of India. Central government. It is also divided into 3 branches which are interrelated. They are legislature, the executive and judiciary. Legislature consists of president, the Rajya Sabha, which is also known as upper house, and the Lok Sabha, known as lower house. Rajya Sabha is permanent body. The total number of members in Rajya Sabha are 245. The members are elected by the member of state legislatures. Lok Sabha is a body of elected members. Men and women of 18 years and above cast their votes to elect these members of Lok Sabha. The total number of members in Lok Sabha are 545. The minimum age to become a member of Lok Sabha is 25 years. Executive. President is the head of the country. He or she is elected by the Electoral College. Electoral College is a group of people who come together to elect president or the vice president. Our current president of India is Mr. Ramnath Kovind. Judiciary. It is to providing justice to the people. The Chief Justice of India and other judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President. Our Constitution has made 3 types of courts. That are Supreme Court. It is the highest court in India. The High Court is the highest court at the state level, and District Court is the highest court at the district level. Now let's study about the formation of central government. The president is the constitutional head, whereas the prime minister is the real head. The president appoints the leader of majority party as the prime minister and invites him to form his cabinet. The ministers are appointed by the president under the advice of prime minister. All these ministers, including the prime ministers, are collectively called the Council of Ministers. This Council of Ministers are responsible for day-to-day working of the government. State government. It is formed exactly same as the central government. It has the three branches that are legislature, executive, judiciary. Legislature further divides into legislative assembly and legislative council. Legislative assembly exists in every state, and some states have the legislative council. Governor is the highest authority at the executive level. He or she is appointed by the President of India. The Chief Minister and Council of Ministers both are responsible for implementing the law made by the Legislative Assembly. Let's study about the judiciary. Every state has a high court. It is the highest court at the state level. There are divisional court at the divisional level and district court at the district level. High court. The decision taken by the High Court is reviewed by the Supreme Court. Formation of the state government. It is formed exactly as the central government. The governor appoints the leader of the majority party as the chief minister, and the state cabinet is formed to govern the state. So in this lesson we have studied about our government. As we have studied that India is a democratic country, we elect a representative to govern us. The President of India is the head of the whole country. The governor is the constitutional head of a state, and the legislature has the responsibility to making law. The judiciary ensures that all work of the government is done accordance with the constitution. I hope you have understood all the topics explained here. Now we'll start with a new topic, that is the Constitution of India. India is a democratic country. Indian citizens have a right to vote and elect their representatives to form the government. This system is called democracy. The Constitution is the ultimate law of the land. Indian Constitution was set up in 1946. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee. India is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic country. The Constitution was accepted on 26th January 1950. We celebrate this day as Republic Day. Preamble to our Constitution. Our constitution defines the goals, rights, duties to be followed by the citizen of India. The Indian constitution begins with preamble. Here is the picture of preamble given where the rights, goals and duties are mentioned. Democracy. Democracy means Indian citizens have a right to vote and elect their representative to form the government. This system is called democracy. Secularism. It means to believe that all religions are equal in the eyes of the constitution. Republic means the people choose their own leaders and who form the government and run the country. Now let's discuss the fundamental rights of Indian citizen. First of all, right of equality. It means that there should be no discrimination on the basis of sex, caste, religion or place of birth. Right to freedom. It means that every citizen has the right to express his or her views. Right against exploitation. It means that no one can be forced to work without wages and be exploited. Right to freedom of religion. It means that every citizen has a right to choose the religion he or she wants to follow. Cultural and educational rights. It means that many religious groups in India are surviving, like Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Buddhist, Christian, Parsi, etc. They have a right to set up their own schools and places of worship. Right to constitutional remedies. It means that the citizen of India has the right to ask for justice in the court of law. Right to education. According to the Article 21A, which provides every child between 6 to 14 years of age to go to school. Government provides free and compulsory education for children up to years of 14 years of age. Besides this, our fundamental rights can be suspended in times of emergency. Now, let's learn about the fundamental duties. Every citizen of India are expected to perform certain duties. Here are the duties mentioned. To obey the Constitution and respect its ideology. Respect the national flag and national anthem. Follow the noble ideas that inspired our struggle for freedom. Protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. To protect public property, to promote harmony and brotherhood among all the people of India. To protect and improve the natural environment including forest, rivers and wildlife. To develop a scientific attitude. To ensure the education of our children between the age of 6 and 14 years. Directive principle of state policy. Our constitution has laid down some of the important principles of the government to follow. These principles are fundamental for the governance of the country. It is the duty of the state to apply these principles while making laws. These are called directive principles of state policy. Some of the principles are written here. Government should provide better living condition for all citizens. The government should provide work for all men and women. The government should improve the living conditions of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and weaker section of the society. The government should promote equal justice and provide free legal aid to the poor. The government should promote cottage industry on an individual or cooperative level in rural areas. The government should provide distribution of resources to the community. The government should provide the principles of equal pay for equal work for both men and women. These are the explanation about our constitution. I hope student you have understood all the topics which are explained here. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.